Let's try that again. Good evening, heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practising Programming at Sea, where the Phantom Power is now enabled on the audio interface, and we're going to be doing some stuff on Cinera. Basically, all we're going to be doing is config hot reloading. That's the thing that we're doing today. So let's open up the program. I think we'll need to touch config.c as well. So let's get that open. And also let's get the conf file. So, first of all, config hot reloading. What is config hot reloading? All it basically is it's simply while the program is running, while Cinera is running, so let's run Cinera. And I actually pass cinera.conf as the config file. Okay. So while the program is running, all hot reloading means is that when we sort of resave this cinera.conf file, that resaving will get detected by the program, and the config file will get repassed, basically, is what it means. So, one thing to bear in mind about our current thing is that we include files, basically. So where do we have our include? So here's where we have an include, and this is containing this. Now, if you don't have includes, all you need to care about is watching the one file, so watching this file for changes, and then picking up those changes. But because we have this including thing, we need to actually make sure that we're watching this file as well, so that when we write this file, that also gets picked up over here by the program, and it hot reloads the entire. Well, what it will probably actually just do is hot reload the file that we've actually specified. So there's one kind of main starting file. It'll probably just repass this, and then if this still contains a an include sort of directive or whatever you want to call it, if that still contains it, then it'll also pass the included file. So yeah, let's just note down the steps that we need to take. First of all, hot reloading of config is right there, so that's the next thing. So the first thing we need to do is to basically, it's essentially watch all of the files, but I'd say that's broken down into a couple of steps. So let's say watch all the config, and that's going to be like maintain a list, and then sort of operate on, I guess. Or act upon the changes, I suppose. So we've got watch all the config files, and having done that, once we've detected that we've had a change, what we need to do is to basically discard the current config and pass in the new one. That's basically it, really. That's all this is going to contain. By the way, I should mention that I'm listening to this particular thing here, Abstractions, Nature's Echo. I'm not exactly sure what abstraction is. I've got a bunch of abstraction here. Let me just see. Yeah, the Maker's Eden. So they did the soundtrack for Maker's Eden. That's where I discovered them. This is quite a sweet track, actually. The track is called Nature's Echo, and it's available. It's just... Oh, actually, I'll tell you what, I wonder if this will work. How do you do this? DDG. Will that work? Did I not even get it from Bandcamp actually? Could that be true? I think this is them. "38 releases." What was it called? Nature's Echo. There we go. So if it wants to load, then we'll get there hopefully. Yeah, Nature's Echo. So yeah, this is what I'm listening to. Yeah, just a little recommendation there. So let's go for it. Watch all the config files. So yeah, we've got we've probably actually got all of the code that we need really. Let's just have a quick gander at what these guys are doing. Okay, yeah, so the push asset watch handle does a little bit more stuff, doesn't it? If that's a symlink, it does that. This doesn't think about symlinks. And the config doesn't know what symlinks either. Yes, the watch handle is actually a global thing, isn't it? That's what we're going to be writing into. So that answers one of the questions. It's basically, do we make the actual config parser push onto the watch handles directly, or do we just make it maintain a list? Well, does it actually answer the question? Because strictly speaking, with it being global, you could just make it push on directly, couldn't you? I mean, the only question really there... Oh, we're still using the idea of capacity in watch handles. Yeah, basically the idea was, do we make the config depend on watch handles, or do we just allow it to know about strings? I think that's basically the real question. And it already knows about strings. So that, yeah, that just uses fit. I reckon that capacity thing in watch handles is no longer needed by anything. Because this guy also simply uses the same fit function. We used to make the fit people know about capacities, but now we don't really bother. We just assume that it always grows, basically. So I think I can legitimately just get rid of that. So we're going to have a new watch type. For starters. So we have a project, descriptor, type, and path. So we currently have a project for the HTML and the asset. I think that's really mostly used for HTML, isn't it? So when you get a HTML, this should be monitor watch handles, isn't it? Monitor file system. So if you've got a WT HML, then you set the current project basically from that project. The WT assets doesn't care about this stuff. Yeah, okay. So if we've got deleted or inserted, that's only... I mean, that's only spoken about here, isn't it? Might want to rearrange that a little bit. And then the updated asset is only spoken about here. So for the watch handle index, and am I right in thinking that this also talks about, well, yeah, you could have multiple events, but does that actually encompass the whole? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I think what this basically means is we could get multiple events, and having processed all of the events, we then see if we've deleted or inserted, we need to do that. If updated or inserted, we need to do that. And you could have got multiple of these things happening, basically. I think is what the idea is there. Alright, so let's start off by building our a list of config files, basically. I think it's tokenized, isn't it? This is the person that calls itself, doesn't it? Ah, no, it's scope tokens that calls itself. Yeah. Yeah, that would be where I want it because it's the include. So tokenized won't know about inclusion. So that has to happen first. And then if we've got a T, we go on and scope them. And I think where this person does scope tokens, so we're going to have an include, aren't we? This will tokenize, won't it? So we've got token list, tokens I. Yeah, so there's tokenization happening. And then after tokenization, we do the scope tokens. Include path L. Yeah, okay. So tokenize is already taking. Right, that's taking the path. Now starting to think, should we just make it push onto the watch handles directly? Because the alternative would be, if we're talking about building up a list of paths first, then you need to pass the actual, probably a memory book is how I'd probably do it. Pass a memory book to the tokenize function here. And then in order to get that memory book into the, in order to get it passed into the tokenize function later on, we'd have to make scope tokens also take that memory book. Right. But while the watch handles are already global, you know, we might as well just make tokenize simply call push config watch handle on the include path. Probably. Yeah, the watch handle's path is not a string, is it? It's a car. It's a car array, basically. Ah, right. So that was the path length. Sorry. What's it want? You're supposed to type int. Yeah, so config file event detected. And that's going to be the watch handles. Okay. And then the tokenize function. Now the thing is, we need to also make sure we can get out of this. I think if we've got errors, right? Yeah, we actually don't handle that, do we? I don't know. Oh, actually, will we have that function available, actually? I mean, it's not a big deal. You just move those push functions up. So print watch handles, what's this? No checks notation. Yeah, so all these functions here, all the things to do with watch handles. Locate asset isn't one of them, so push config watch handle. Yeah, just move these things above the config.c include, basically. No. Oh. Now we haven't got the watch handles. Now what's going on here actually? Project does not need to be used for anything. So I think we can reasonably. Mind you, that does count as a global, doesn't it? Config is a global, project is a global. So watch handles there. Watch type. So this needs to be available above these functions, doesn't it, obviously? No, it doesn't like the project. Oh shit, right, yeah, so this has to actually come after the config, the config.c file, doesn't it? Alright, so how do I do this? I think the only thing that we needed, wasn't it, was that for declaration of that function. So where are we? So that's where we were. Config file event detected. I think it's just saying implicit declaration, wasn't it? So yeah, let's just try and forward declare this. And also push config watch handle. Alright. So I think that's everything, isn't it? If I just run now, just resave that. We didn't get a message, so yeah, something hasn't worked. Yes, we clearly don't get here, do we? Let's just turn on debug events. Actually, did I save the config.c file? So it has done a push config watch handle if we got handle. So apparently that has probably happened. So we've got any close right events, name, cinera.conf. Cinera.topics. Oh, we probably need to resolve the file name, don't we, actually? Yeah, we will need to do that. Won't we? Well, hang on. So it is watching that. Just see if we get anything at all. Oh, all the events, yeah, so we're not watching all of them, are we? So we've got an event detected there. So then if I just go to cinera.com. Yeah, okay, so we get event detected. So we do get into that situation now. So what is the problem then? We're not getting into there, I don't think. I might just draw that in green actually. Just so we can see it a bit clearer. Yeah, so we're not getting there. So what is the problem then? Let's see what the type watching is. So it's the watch type. Oh, right. So it thinks it's watch type 1. So where's type? So the type there is WT config. And that should be 0, 1, 2, shouldn't it? I can understand this being... So this is an asset. This, I'm not sure what that is. I think that's a temporary file actually. Apparently I think that's watch type 1. Well, let's just print out what we think we're putting in here. Yeah, so there we push config watch under the watch type 2. Which is what I'd expect. And yet when we come down here, our monitoring, we just keep getting watch type 1. Definitely push that thing there. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Oh, it is pushed on as a WT asset, yeah. So -1, what does this mean exactly? That's the descriptor. Oh. Yeah, so we've got more than 2 now. Let's do some strings for these. How do you do this again? Well, we can do the whole lot actually. Alright, yeah, so just recognise that it's a WT config. There's no descriptor for it, is that true? Yeah, that's the thing, wasn't it? The watch handle's descriptor and the path. So what exactly is the descriptor, I wonder? The descriptors and ends. Oh, -1 probably means that it wasn't found. Is that true? So get agent. I mean, it knows that that is the whole path, doesn't it? Like, how's it determined that actually? Oh. Well, no, the path is just that. Yeah, I think Choconote actually knows the full path, doesn't it? Let's just see if that is actually the path that we should be talking about. So HubGit maggot Cinera Cinera.conf. So that is the path for that. Yeah, interesting that we just keep getting what type 1. Right, so it's looping over these. So what are we missing here? Right, we've already established that we're pushing it on as a WT config. We've seen watch type 2 pop up there. We've got the entire path. We do end up with the descriptor as -1. I might actually just double check what this is actually returning to us. Yeah, so on error -1 is returning error number is set appropriately. I guess we should look at what that error was then. So is this the right file? think this is the right file. Don't all the colours look off though? What's going on with that? Right, this is what I want. Right. So, what was I trying to look at? The error number. I think you do like that actually, don't you? Invalid argument. In deletes. So the watch handles pass. Oh, yeah. I don't think we've initialized the iNotify instance. That could be what we haven't done. Yeah. Let's try again. Alright, that's what we want. Watch type 2 event detected. Perfect. Country file event detected. So, event detected. This is monitor thingamajig. And where else will we say watch type? Do that there. Alright, so we don't need to do that. We are ostensibly debugging the events, but not really, I guess. Let's keep it on for now. So we are watching them. And rather than maintaining a list of them, we're actually just acting upon them straight away, really. So really it's not, we're not doing it in two steps, we're just doing it all in the one thing. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to discard the current config. Do we have that? And then this person needs to actually know overwrite the actual config path. This is simply a printout. This thing here was simply just test code, wasn't it? Yeah, let's just get rid of this because we don't need this anymore. Print assets block, we don't need that really. So I reckon what I want to do is basically undo the work of all of this stuff here. And then do these things again. It's probably just a free file, actually, isn't it? I wonder why these are different here. If the original database version is less than the CineraDB version, shouldn't both of them be free in the config before fatal erroring? I mean, strictly speaking, neither of them should be fatal erroring, should they? I don't think. Well, I guess these kind of do actually, because handle conversion. So that's something that the program can't actually rectify. And the unsupported DB version. So yeah, I guess these two are fatals. Return a no op. I'm just going to thread this in there. Free the config. Like, and I will stick into here as well. So this is init DB, isn't it? So what have we done at this point? All we've done is pass in the config. Alright, that sounds fine. Tell you what, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to make this thing rewind the buffers, basically. So yeah, we can reasonably claim them outside there. But whenever we're doing repeated passing of the config, we can just use the same guys, but just rewind them. I think I might make a function for that. Because there's a bunch of them. Possibly just not declared yet. Yeah, so consider putting the ref info and quote info. Okay, so that's referring to this stuff down here. And then we've got all the stuff to do with buffers, claiming and all that. Is that a log? Yeah. So we're saying we're going to rewind 6 buffers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one is allocated separately. And then the rest of it is just fixed size. Alright, so that should do the trick there. So that gets called there. So I don't need to touch the collision buffers when I'm undoing all of this stuff, basically. Yeah, it's freeing all the projects to. Yeah, okay, so basically here, I'm thinking what I want to do is have like a discard everything basically. So discard all, and that's going to free the config, it's going to free that database file, it's going to free template, that global template if it needs to. It's going to free all the projects. Well, the projects are in the config, so free config should be freeing all the projects, shouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Do we have that? No. So we do have push assets. You telling me we don't have? We are saying we don't have free assets, don't we? Yeah, we just don't have a free asset. Couldn't that be a problem? Oops. Oh, you can't actually free just one asset, can you? Because they're all in the same thing, aren't they? They're all in the same array. So what are you talking about doing? It's that, isn't it? So really, that's all you need. You don't need this whole function. Oh, doesn't like something. Free file probably has to be the actual thing. No, it doesn't like. Ah, right. So we need a free signposted file. Do I not have that? Now, what else do we have here? Signposts. Do we need to free the signposts? I don't think we do, but we could clear them. Yeah, and you could see there that the signposts are just like hard set. Like they're just. It's just a zero structure, isn't it? Basically. Can't you just do that? I have to double check that that's actually going to do what we want, really. Okay. So that's the DB sorted out. We're freeing the signpost to DB. We've freed the assets. Value conflict. I guess we could do it in reverse order, couldn't we? But doesn't really matter. We haven't freed the config yet. Now, that's the point. Now, does the free config actually need to be freeing the search template? Neighborhood. Probably do want to reset the neighborhood. That probably has to take it, doesn't it? So we've got init neighborhood. Alright, so we have got reset neighborhood. Ah, but that itself calls reset neighborhood, so we don't need to do anything with that. Right. Yeah, because when we init it, in set current projects. Wait, is that the only person that actually calls that? Alright, it says sync project calls set current projects. Alright, so I think we're safe with that. We don't need to touch the neighborhood. Try to get ourselves back to the main area. Yeah, I mean, that might just be it, actually. Where's that reset collation buffers thing gone? Rewind. Right, so where's that? Oh yes, that's right, because we've got the config. We've got that to do that. So is that it? Discard all does this. And then having discarded all, you actually do this again. Right. So monitor file system itself is a loop. Right, obviously it's a while. We're only going to get in here if we're not doing a dry run. So it sort of seems, doesn't it? Like all you need to do is init all, really. And init all will do this. Right. So you discard all, then you init all, and you continue anyway, basically. So let's see about pulling this stuff out into an init all function. So that wanted the config, which is actually labeled. So it needs the collation buffers. All right. Right, so that needs a neighborhood. on a bespoke thing. Well, yeah, okay, so the bespoke template, whenever we use it, it gets used and then it gets freed. So we don't need to do anything special with that. And the neighborhood, whenever that gets initted, it gets reset. Right, we determined that. I'll put the bespoke neighborhood, bespoke thing first, didn't we? Look at the way that. Let's just make it take it in the same order that the monitor file system does. Right. Okay. So this is just above the monitor thing. Oh, it's just above main. Okay, fine. It'll have to go above monitor thingy, so we can actually call it. So there's discard all. There's init all. And then in monitor file system, discard all. And it wants to be taking the it actually needs to pass the config, doesn't it? How does it take it? It takes it as a string. All right. So again, discard all. I should say discard all and free config, I reckon. So I am going to do the same logic as before, but this is monitor, isn't it? Oh, N. Fine. I am going to do the same logic, just for now. And basically that logic is essentially that if there's no config, then we just go to the end. But now that we're actually watching config files, there's no necessity to actually for the program to exit if there's no config. We can simply output a message saying that there's no config. Please furnish us with one. Let's see what happens first of all. Well, there we go. It's kind of basically works. I mean, you can see that we're obviously repassing the config, and we're redoing all the stuff. I think I need to really make sure that I'm actually deleting everything. Yes, this is working also. You know, making sure that I'm not leaking memory, basically, is what I need to make sure of. I can't do that under a debug build. Because the debug information actually uses up a bunch of memory. You can see that we're using 405 megabytes. I think you probably can't see that under there. Alright, so there's Cinera.com, Cinera.c, or just Cinera the program. You can see that the residence information is 404 meg. Is that what we said over there? Well, basically. So yeah, 404 meg, that's more than we're using. And I think that's mostly taken up by that, by the debug symbols. So go to debug mode, into optimize build. And now we're using a more responsible 14 meg. It's not showing up on Conky. So 14052 is what we've got going on there. So if I was watching the notes file. I'm still using 14052. Ah, 14312 is what we're now using. Yeah, so I think we are leaking something. Yeah, 15104. Yeah, so it keeps going up. So I think we need to double check what we're actually dealing with here. Yeah, we're offering the template. We forgot about the thing, didn't we? It was the global template. That's one thing we forgot to talk about. Yeah, we mentioned it, but we just forgot to do it. Although I guess in this case we probably don't actually have a config template. Yeah, search template. What does that actually do? That free template thing. So it does free file and then it does a free of that clear template metadata. So I think clearing ain't going to be a problem. Free file does this, which does a free buffer. So it does a free. And I think these are all okay. Like if they're not allocated, won't actually do anything. Yeah, I think that's alright. This is something we like to check, isn't it? The signposts. So let's just see if we can just print signposts. Do we have that? Of course we don't. Well, hang on a second. Why don't I just step into it? That'd be easier. So we won't hit this, will we, until we actually do this. Right. So we event detected. Let's just have a look at the. So there is information in there. That's a blank. And then if we just set that, it just sets that to be that. Perfect. Now, hang on a second, can you actually just do that? Can you just do that? No. So there you go. Quick and dirty way of zeroing out structure. Alright, so that's good that works. Discard all and free config, free samples file. We have made the config. We've newly made the free config actually do the free template. And just do that, can't we? Well. Check. Yeah, free. Alright. So now let's just go back to the optimized build. So this time we're using 13.13980. Is that right? Yeah. 13980, which is a different amount. I think last time what happened was it didn't go up after the first time we did the rebuild, but then from subsequent times it did go up, and now it's gone up. Yeah, it's gone up there. 14,270. So actually, let's just say that, and then 14,270. 14,768. So it's not going up by an even amount, is it? $15,052. $15,032, sorry. So it's going up by yeah, it's definitely not going up by an equal amount. I think I should expect to see that it doesn't go up, shouldn't I? Discard all and free config. Past config, we've got config, then we init all. And then we continue on with our loop. So we've got one lot of collision buffers, which we initialize outside and pass into this function. One neighborhood. Oh, actually, the stack is going to grow, isn't it? Isn't it? And that will be counted in this resident stuff, won't it? Forgot about that. So I should just turn off the debug events, because we know that that's working now, and see if that changes much. So this time it starts off at 5740, which is a lot lower than these guys. That's just by turning off the debug events, debugging it off. Okay. No, sorry. So yeah, again we've got the same number. For the second time through. Rebuild. Yeah, we're pegged on 5740. So maybe it's just that debug events that was causing the difference. 5740. Stop. Is that right? Beg your pardon. Looking at the wrong goddamn thing. Let's try that again. I was looking at the wrong person. I was looking at the H top zone number. Let's try that one more time. Okay. So this time it's on 24 meg already. Is that true? No, that's Vim. Bloody hell. Right. 14044. We're getting there. Again, it's dated. Could open another window actually for that H top. $14,304. That I think I'll totally do that. So there's 14,304. Yeah, and similarly, let's just split this guy. So 14,304 is over there. I'm not actually sure if that's, is that coming through on the thing? Yeah, you can just see that. $14,832. Yeah, so clearly it's increasing. No, is it increasing any less? I mean, it's going up by about 300, and then it's going up by 500, and then it's going up by about 100 and something. 164. So it's going up a variable amount. I think what I'd like to do is to call this stream here. We've done about 2 hours, haven't we? And then I think in the next stream, or in the next session, in the next practice, I would like to try and investigate any sort of memory leaks, really, I think is what I'd like to do. I think I'd like to do that, and I think I'd also like to move away from this situation where we're basically having init all happening in two different places basically. And where you can fail. If you've got no config, it'll fail. Right. So basically I'd like it to just print out the fact. If there's no config, it'll just print out there's no config. Please populate this, please furnish us with a config. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you just check dry run, I guess. Yeah, dry run would prevent us from entering the monitor file system loop and prevent us from initting all. Dry run essentially is simply, it's basically just printing out the config. So it allows you to sort of make changes to the config without actually generating anything. And I mean, now that I think of that, even that can be something that you can just do live, really. So you can just get the program running and it says, if you've got no config, it just says there's no config set. You know, and suggest maybe that you want to use the -c flag to actually pass a different config file. Or if it does find a config, it prints out the config. And then, like, because you're in the sort of dry run mode, you can just keep making changes to the config to see how it affects the actual thing. And it'll just update as you're doing it. It'll just sort of say, you know, it'll obviously give you parse errors. So if there are parse errors, it'll prompt you to fix those. And if there's no parse errors, it'll just print the config to show you what you actually produced, to see if everything looks reasonable for you. So yeah, it's not like if you're in dry run mode, you just print the config in it and get out of there. This is also happening in a loop. So it's almost like all you have to do is process the command line arguments, right? Initialize the memory arena, set the config path, print the versions if you want. Get the collation buffers ready. Get the iNotify instance ready, which would definitely have to be ready in order for us to do the whole, like, monitoring the config file as you're going. Get the bespoke template ready, get the neighborhood ready. And then once you've got those things in place, you just enter your loop. You just do your main loop. And that sort of says if there's no config, you know, it handles the presence or absence of config. And it handles whatever mode you're in. So it won't generate anything if you're in dry run. Yeah, I think that's basically what it'll be. So let's make a note of that. So we've got this. The next steps for us here are basically to investigate and close any memory leaks. And the other bit is to just make it so that you can always run, basically. So you've got, you just have the main loop. Yeah, how do you describe it? This really. I mean, it's just straighten out the main loop, really. It's pretty nondescript, but I think I should know what we mean by that. Kind of the case when the config is absent and when the I think that's basically it. So yeah, that's what we'll do tomorrow, or whenever the next practice is. So yeah, we've done an hour and 44, and 20 seconds, and 21 seconds, and 22 seconds. So thank you very much, Heroes and Heroines, for being here, for being beautiful, for being fantastic, for being configured, and I think for most of all, being hot. Until next time, farewell for now.